We're staying in the UK for now because the government here is expected to publish its 10-year infrastructure strategy later, which will outline the framework they plan to use to help address the country's infrastructure needs. Of course, investment in infrastructure is seen as one of the government's pledges to deliver higher growth. On Tuesday, the Transport Secretary, Heidi Alexander, confirmed that the opening of the HS2 high-speed rail line between London and Birmingham would be delayed again, describing the project as an appalling mess amid soaring costs. It had been due to start operating in 2033, but no new date has been committed to. Well, I'm joined now by Dr. Manu Sasidharan, Assistant Professor in Infrastructure Asset Management at University College London. Thank you very much for joining us today. Let's start first of all by talking about that new delay to HS2. The government, I think, keen to pin the blame on the previous administration, describing it as an absolute mess. Is it fair to pin that criticism on the last administration?
Good morning. We need to get everything right when we are building critical national infrastructure like HS2. So from the design to the construction, and also to delivering the promised socioeconomic impacts and also boosting the railway supply chain. So putting aside any political or legal factors that may or may not have contributed to this repeated delays, we're looking at several reasons, and one of which is the successive scope changes and resets that have already complicated a very complex infrastructure that needs to be built. So from that look, I sincerely hope that HS2 can deliver the capacity and the economic gains that it originally promised, but only if the new reset turns the ambition into disciplined execution. So lock the scope, share the risk fairly, and keep a very relentless grip on every pound spent. Because HS2 is not just a railway, it's Britain's launchpad for a greener, faster, and a resilient rail technology.
OK, well, let's look more broadly at the infrastructure plan that the government is going to announce later. I'm sure you've been watching for leaks and you're hearing things on the grapevine. What are you expecting to hear? Indeed, what do you think should be prioritised?
Well, the success of that 10-year infrastructure strategy largely depends on the government's ability to commit to reducing the time, cost, and obstacles to infrastructure delivery, and more importantly, making very key strategic investments in maintaining our UK's infrastructure, aging infrastructure particularly. So investments would be in the affordable housing and social sector, and also investment on decongesting the transport networks and increasing their reliability, so HS2 as well. You would also see other transport route upgrades. Bus and active travel schemes have also gathered significant momentum. But as I said earlier, the condition of the critical infrastructure, particularly the aging transport assets, is a matter of concern because chronic underinvestment and inadequate maintenance have resulted in a significant repair backlogs, with recent reports suggesting that the local road network has less than 15 years of structural life remaining.
Wow.
So we have also seen climate shocks and environmental pressures already interrupting our daily lives. So we have seen nearly 7,000 trains that were delayed by floods last year, water resources under increasing pressure. So tackling climate change and also investing in clean energy to secure the energy transition will be very high up in the agenda.
And we're also, forgive me for cutting across, we're also hearing about there'll be a new government body, some might call it a quango, established with a mission to ensure that infrastructure is delivered in a joined up way. Briefly, if you can, do you think that's necessary? What are your hopes and fears for it?
Sure, there is a critical need for a more integrated and systematic approach to infrastructure planning. And NISTA, as it is called, is creation of that strategy alongside the 10-year strategy and also the infrastructure planning and infrastructure bill. So NISTA, I think we need a joined-up plan for our infrastructure to treat the whole system and not just the symptoms. So I think if all needs to be a reality, NISTA is given a real authority and can challenge the government through its critical and evidence-led voice. I find it positive that NISTA is coming into place.
OK, Dr. Manu Sasidharan from University College London, thank you for joining us today.